past January, I decided that with another 6 months or so of quarantine left, I was going to get ripped. I don't mean skinny. I mean like ripped, like doing a single pull-up. It's been 4 months and I'm currently able to do 0 pull-ups, but I can dangle from the pull-up bar for a lot longer than I could back in January. And you think I'm joking, but I'm not. I actually do feel strong and it's great. I am even considering like starting to look into protein powders and stuff so I could gain muscle faster. That's how interested I am in getting stronger. However, there is one aspect of my life in which I am not overly concerned with getting stronger, and it may surprise you to learn that I'm talking about my immune system. That's right, I would rather have strong biceps than a strong immune system. I'm thinking about this right now because I am incredibly privileged to have been able to get my COVID-19 vaccine last week. I live in the Bay Area where they are making certain counties and certain zip codes eligible for vaccines leading up to April 15th when all adults in California will be eligible for their vaccine. For those of you who are currently eligible or who are about to become eligible and are having issues finding an appointment, let me tell you that the secret is to not use the website, My Turn. It sucks. Instead, call your local vaccine distribution hotline and talk to a human. This may work in other places, other states. I only know about California, obviously. But when I tried to use My Turn, it showed no appointments anywhere in my region. But when I called and spoke to a human, she told me, oh, no, we have loads of appointments. And she was able to book me one a few miles away from me within the hour. So it was pretty great. I know we all think that talking on the phone is the worst, but the actual worst is dying of a pandemic. I got the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, which is a single dose that becomes more and more effective as time goes on. As I mentioned in a previous video, I'm not worried about the relative efficacy rates of the 3 different vaccines. Go check out that video if you'd like more information. But the short explanation is that Johnson & Johnson was tested long after Moderna and Pfizer. And it was tested during a particularly bad COVID surge where there were several new variants. So you can't really compare the efficacy of each of the vaccines to one another because it's not apples to apples. In the real world, though, since they've been giving out all of these vaccines, it appears that all of them are equally great at keeping people alive and out of the hospital. And that's what matters more than anything right now. Personally, I'm quite happy that I don't need to schedule a second shot in 2 weeks. And my side effects were just being a bit tired for a day. So altogether, not too bad. While Moderna and Pfizer use mRNA technology to deliver instructions to our immune system on how to attack COVID-19, the Johnson & Johnson vaccine is a more traditional vaccine that uses an inactivated cold virus, not COVID-19, just a regular common cold virus, to deliver those instructions. The end result is more or less the same. Over the next few weeks and months, my body will continue to ramp up efforts to recognize and attack and kill COVID-19 if it ever shows up in my body. Good job, immune system. Proud of you. A lot of people seem to be wondering whether or not they should keep wearing masks and socially distance after they're vaccinated. And let me be absolutely clear. Yes, you should continue wearing your mask and socially distancing yourself. No COVID-19 vaccine is 100% effective at stopping the spread of the virus. It significantly reduces your chances of catching it. And if you do catch it, it makes your symptoms much less worrisome. You know, it keeps you out of the hospital, keeps you alive. But there is still that slim chance that you could catch it and you could pass it on. It's slim, but it's there. So combine that with the fact that a significant portion of people, mostly white conservatives in the United States, as I spoke about in a previous video, are refusing to get the vaccine. And now you have a situation where to truly be rid of COVID, we're going to have to continue to be careful. We need several things in order to make it go away. The vaccines, great. social distancing and masks still help. You can hang out with your vaccinated friends, but if you're going to be indoors around strangers, then it's a good idea to continue wearing a mask to protect yourself and others. But also, as I pointed out on Twitter, I have not had so much as a head cold since 2019. It turns out, COVID-19 aside, people are disgusting germ factories. This is a fact that Asian cultures have understood for quite some time, which is why even before this pandemic, many of them had already normalized wearing a mask when you're out in public, especially if you're not feeling well. I really hope that this becomes the norm around the United States and other countries as well. But even if it doesn't, I will be regularly wearing a mask when I'm inside around strangers. Public transportation, mask. Movie theater, mask. Concert, mask. Restaurant, takeout. I do not see me happily enjoying a meal inside a restaurant anytime soon. In reply to my tweet about this, someone brought up this fair question. What about keeping your immune system strong? And that makes sense. We're constantly bombarded with messaging saying that we should do everything we can to strengthen our immune system. And a lot of people believe that this means we will be healthier if we expose ourselves to more germs. Even I have always had this idea that the reason why I don't have any allergies is because as a kid, I was constantly outside playing in the dirt and interacting with a wide variety of wild and domesticated animals. This is known as the hygiene hypothesis, and it's been around for quite a while as scientists have noted that, for instance, wealthy people in the late 1800s were much more likely to experience hay fever than your average farmer. There is some compelling evidence that the hygiene hypothesis is true, at least in part. Research has shown that people like me who grow up in rural areas are actually less likely to experience allergies and asthma. However, a lot of other research shows that this is probably not due to exposure to dangerous infections. Study after study after study has shown no link between childhood exposure to dangerous viral infections and development of asthma or allergies. And at least one study of 200 children found that viral infections were actually associated with kids being more likely to develop asthma. So why would playing in the dirt as a kid be good and protective, but actually getting sick be bad? The current most likely explanation is that it's due to exposure to good microbes. These are the germs that don't actually hurt us. Why? Because when we expose ourselves to good germs, bacteria, microbes, our immune system learns that it doesn't have to attack every microbe it sees. And that's why I responded to that question on Twitter about a strong immune system by saying, you actually don't need a strong immune system. You need a balanced immune system. A strong immune reaction is why your nose runs and you feel like shit when you have a cold. That's your immune system responding to a threat. And that's why for many people, your nose runs and you feel like shit just because it's spring. Your immune system is too strong. It's going to war against literal flowers because it thinks that everything is a threat. And that's why doctors have established an entire category of disorders known as autoimmune diseases, in which your immune system is so strong that it attacks you. Like when you've got type 1 diabetes, and your immune system attacks your own pancreas. It's like this. Imagine you have a home that you want to protect from intruders. So you get a puppy that you want to train to be a really strong dog. And when your puppy is a puppy, your house has several burglars break in over time, and you train your puppy to attack them. But let's say you're a sad person who has no friends who come over the entire time. When the dog grows up, your mom decides to drop in because she's worried about you because you have no human friends. But as she walks in the door, your dog attacks her. Because as a puppy, he learned that anyone who comes through that door is a threat. Now, even your mom doesn't want to see you. But if your puppy sees friends coming in and out, then your puppy has more experience and can differentiate between friends and burglars, and it'll know which one to attack. And that's what you want. You want a balanced dog who can tell the difference between a friend and a threat. And that's why over on Twitter I said that the best way to build a balanced immune system isn't to expose yourself to disease, it's to treat your body well and avoid exposure to disease. By treat your body well, I mean eat a balanced diet if you can, go for walks or whatever other kind of exercise you enjoy doing regularly. Drink your water, get plenty of sleep. You can safely ignore all of the things that promise to boost your immune system, like airborne and emergency, which are mostly just vitamins that you're going to end up peeing out. But if your body is in decent shape, it will be more likely to have the resources to respond to a threat when it encounters one. By avoid exposure to disease, I mean just that. Wash your hands after you use the bathroom. Wash your hands after you've been outside and before you eat. Try not to touch your face after shaking hands or opening a shop door. Wear a mask, especially during a pandemic or in the winter when influenza is most likely to be lurking. And get your vaccines for COVID, for seasonal flu, for whooping cough, diphtheria. Get your vaccines. The vaccines don't expose your body to infection. They simply give your immune system the instructions they will need if they do ever encounter that infection. And that will keep everyone safer, despite what you may hear from anti-vaccine, anti-science, pro-disease lay people mouthing off on social media.